This is it, the greatest spectacle of racing is now upon us. The most prestigious race on the calendar, the Indianapolis 500, is just days away. 33 drivers will go 200 laps around the 2.5 mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway for a chance to kiss the brakes and drink the ice cold milk waiting for them in victory lane. For those in the championship that are vying for the Astor Cup as much as they are the Berg Warner Trophy, the race is worth double points and could have huge implications on the championship. Coming into this race, the ultra-consistent Willpower leads the championship with 170 points. It is followed by Alex Palou in second with 156 points. Scott McLaughlin sits third, only 4 points behind the defending champion. Joseph Newgarden sits fourth in the championship after struggling in the GMR Grand Prix earlier this month, while Indy500 pole sitter Scott Dixon sits in fifth with 133 points. Who etches their name into the history books? Who will claim the Borg Warner Trophy? Who will double points launch them into championship contention, and will they be able to recover from a costly setback? It's all the big questions I need to ask. But looking back to last year, to put it into one word, history happened last year. Helio Castroneves won the 105th Indianapolis 500, becoming the fourth driver to ever to only win it four times. The Brazilian battled with two of the series youngsters in Palou and Pato O'Ward throughout the second half of the race, eventually coming down to just Castroneves and Palou. The duo traded a lead back and forth in the final 10 laps of the race, but Castroneves made the winning move with 2 laps to go, boldly going around the outside of Palou in turn 1. To take the lead, never came back as he claimed a historic victory. Dixon led the field to green, but got caught out by the first caution of the race as Stephen Wilson crashed in the pit lane on lap 31. Dixon, alongside of Alex Rossi, were low on fuel and ran out as they made it to the pit lane, setting them back tremendously. Out front, Colton Hurst and Rinus VeeKay traded times, leading the field, with Conor Daly even leading laps to a thunderous hometown ovation. After the next two pit cycles, Castroneves, Palou and O'Ward found themselves at the front before the second caution flew on lap 119. Graham Rahal did not have any left rear tyre securing in the car, and it came off as he exited the pit, slamming the wall in turn 2 just in front of the leaders. Thankfully, Rahal did not collect any other driver and was unharmed. From lap 126 restart and onwards, it was a battle between Castroneves, Palou and O'Ward, with Spider-Man as his nickname taking the victory. But yeah, what do you need to look out for this weekend? Chip Ganassi Racing has had some of the fastest cars all month in practice and proved the speed by putting all 5 cars in the front for all rows in qualifying last weekend. Dixon, of course, broke the record for the fastest 4-lap pole average in race history with a 234.046 mile/hour speed, and barring any bad luck or timing he's had in the past 2 Indy 500s, he should once again be in the favourite with the fastest car in the field. Joining him on the front row is Palou, who starts second. Palou knows what it takes to be in pole position and to fight for a win at the end of the race. He showed it last year, and with the experience help him this year more than likely. Starting on the second row, Marcus Ericsson in 5th and Tony Kanaan in 6th. Ericsson has been quietly quick throughout practice, finishing in the top 5 in most sessions and could be a contender. Kanaan shows what it takes to win at Indy and has experience which could benefit him, much like it did at Castroneves last year. But the most intriguing name to many people of the Ganassi bunch is Jimmy Johnson. Many felt Johnson would be more successful in IndyCar on the ovals thanks to NASCAR background, but a 7-time Cup Series champ to make the Fast 12 on his first attempt is an amazing achievement. To back up, he's by far the most experienced driver in the field when it comes to 500-mile races. 10 drivers will have won the Indy 500 on their first attempt. Will Johnson become number 11? Who knows? The only other team that was able to keep up with CGR in qualifying was Ed Carpenter Racing, with 2 cars on the front 2 rows. VeeKay once again finds himself on the front row in third, with team boss Ed Carpenter right behind in fourth. VeeKay struggled with saving fuel last year and dropped down to 8th, after being a contender for the win with the early part of the race. Will he be able to correct those mistakes and become a contender for the full 500 miles? Another name to watch come Sunday will be Takuma Sato. The 2-time winner turned heads by leading 3 straight practice sessions and finishing in the top 5 for an additional 2, making it into the Fast 12 and qualifying 10th. Although he may not be a favourite, I wouldn't count against Sato getting a real shot at his 500. Lastly, it's interesting to look at row 9 of the starting grid, where we find Herta, Scott McLaughlin and defending champ Elio Castro-Neves. Only one of the Andretti Autosport cars found their way into the Fast 12 last weekend, and it wasn't a surprise that it wasn't Herta, having started on the front row last year. McLaughlin gambled in the fast lane on the first day of qualifying and failed to improve, falling down the order 11 places from where he was in 15th to his starting position of 26th. Pagano then started 26th last year and finished third, so all hope isn't lost for McLaughlin. Finally, we come to the defending champion Castro-Neves, starting 27th. The champ has a lot of work to do if he wants to defend his crown and become the first driver to win 5 Indy500, so keep an eye on the 06 car as he looks to make history. But yeah, moving on then to where you can watch in the UK and the timings. There's a final practice starting at 3 o'clock on Friday, and then the actual race itself at 3 o'clock on Sunday is when it gets underway, and coverage will be on Sky Sports F1. But yeah, it's going to be a thrilling race, so make sure you tune in really. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, put your thoughts, comments down below, and so things get for daily F1 news and subscribe to the channel, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.